Hey folks, welcome to SC Haulers. I'm Saxon Wine, and today we're getting into making money through hauling and hauling missions of all things. I know there are a lot of people that are doing the refueling missions right now and all that stuff, and that's making a ton of money for a lot of people. And I have experienced through hauling that you can make just as much money if you put in the work. It will take some time, but I heard you can earn like somewhere between 7 to 9 million per hour, and I am able to pull those same numbers with cargo hauling. But we need to talk about some things that you need before you can actually do these cargo hauling mission routes. And that being said, let's get into this haul. So the key thing that you need to know about doing this particular route is, one, we're going to be in Pyro. I don't know if you could tell, but we are in Pyro. You're primarily, my recommendation is going to be using the external freight elevators. The external freight elevators give you ease of access. You don't have to go into the station. And the reason you don't want to go into a station is because you're going to be using larger ships. I mean, at least I am. And that's what I've been doing, is using larger ships like the Ironclad and the Hull C. So that being said, we know that in 4.8 and 4.8.1, the freight elevators have been bugged. And they did say over this past weekend that they would be working on a fix on the server side to actually make sure the freight elevators are working. And I think they have, even though they haven't said it, I think there is some kind of fix that's been put into place. And I'm not saying this is the case for everybody. For all you people that are going to be like, freight elevators are still bugged for me, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's fixed for everybody. I'm just saying I think they're starting to implement fixes for it. And the reason I say that is because when I click on this freight elevator that hasn't been used, you try to click on it and you saw it was very, very quick. It kicked me out of it. And generally speaking, that's when the freight elevator itself is trying to reset. And so now I'm going to go into it, and it seems to be working perfectly fine. The elevator comes up, and then we send it down again, and the elevator goes down without issue. And that's all I'm saying, is that they potentially fix the elevators over the weekend on the server side. I haven't tried planet side. I don't know if this is the same thing. All I know is that at the external freight elevators, there seems to be a fix. So that being said, before you even use the external freight elevators, before you even think about using it, the first thing you need to do is make sure that they work. So we're going to go to external freight elevator number 5, and we're going to click on number 5. You see how it did that instant thing? Like, it instantly kicked me out again. If you have cargo on the grid and it does that instant kick to you, you are going to lose all your cargo on the grid. I don't care what you experience. It is automatically resetting the freight elevator every time that you do this. And it consumes all of your cargo. So make sure the very first thing you do when you arrive is that you reset the freight elevator, period. Go to the terminal, click on the terminal, let it reset itself, and you should be okay. That is not a guarantee. That is not a promise. I don't work for CIG. I don't actually know, but just please press the button. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. Now, without that out of the way, let's go back to my ship. So as I said before, I'm using the Ironclad. I recommend that you use the Hull C or the Ironclad to do these missions. You can use something smaller if you're doing member rank missions. But that being said, we are doing Red Wind Linehaul missions in Pyro. You need to do this particular route, you need to be member rank, experienced, or senior. I haven't hit master yet, obviously, but I'm assuming there will be similar things at master rank that will help us get even more money. That being said, we have some contracts here. Now, the first one we're going to talk about is, well, actually, they're all similar in some regard. But let's talk about the bug that is happening with the contracts. Currently, any contract that you have that has you collecting cargo from multiple locations and then delivering to one location is bugged. These have always been bugged since the beginning of time. I don't know why they've been bugged, but basically, let me explain what happened before. The cargo would spawn, you have 136 SCU, and it would split. Let's just assume 33% of the cargo would go to each location in this case. So Megumi, Checkmate, Gaslight. You would go to each location, and Megumi and Checkmate's cargo would not count towards your total of 136 SCU to Ruin Station. It's like it wasn't assigned to the mission properly, so it just wouldn't count. So the only one that would count is your cargo that was from Gaslight. Now, that was the old system. The way that it is working now is all of this 136 SCU of cargo is spawning at one location, which is the very bottom location that's listed on the details here. So Gaslight, as well as on the right hand side here. To that point, while you're in Pyro, there are going to be some missions that have double locations. So for instance, this one says Checkmate and Checkmate. You need to check the details on the left here, because if you want cargo that spawns at Checkmate, you need to check this over here, because the bottom location in the details is actually location to address. If we accept this mission, and it didn't actually accept. So never mind. I guess we'll try to find another bugged one. Here's another one. So if we accept that mission, we'll see we have collect carbon from Checkmate, Checkmate, but freight elevator at location 1 address is actually, if we look at it on the maps, Nick's Gateway in Pyro. So just keep that in mind. If you have a double mission location, double pickup location, I should say, it will always generally be at Nick's Gateway as one of them. It's not labeled properly. Now let's talk about these missions. At member rank, you'll get missions that are like this, where you can collect carbon from Gaslight and deliver to Ruin Station. And there are other missions in other locations that are available as well. So for instance, we can pick up a member contract for 532K going from Megumi to Ruin Station, which is a good spot to go. This is experienced rank going from in-game to Ruin. You have, the reason why you can't do junior rank missions like this is because junior rank missions want you to pick up at places like Sacren's Plot or Jackson Swap, and then deliver to like Starlight Service Station. And these are all going to be planetary hauling routes for junior rank. So member rank is the first time you'll actually get station to station contracts. So here's another one. So Rat's Nest to Ruin Station. Another one, Dudley and Daughters to Ruin Station, Patch City to Ruin Station. You get the concept, right? Basically what you want to do is try to find, with the Ironclad and the Whole Sea, locations that have external freight elevators that you can load your cargo onto. Now, that being said, not every location has an external freight elevator in Pyro, and these are the ones that do have external freight elevators. That's going to be Checkmate, Obituary, Ruin Station, Stanton Gateway, Nick's Gateway, Megumi Refueling, and Gaslight. Those are the 7 locations that you can go to get these missions, and then you just want to stack them. So at member rank, you can stack missions going to similar locations like this. So this one's from Gaslight to Ruin, and then you can pick up ones that are going from Obituary to Ruin, and then you can like logistically move your missions all around as you want to, and just keep a short list of what's going on. Now, if you want the easiest set of missions possible in this particular category for Red Wind Linehaul, I'm going to recommend that you go with the experienced rank missions and start at Gaslight. And at the very bottom of the list, this is where they always appear for me. They might be somewhere else for you, but they're always at the bottom for me. There's these 4 795K missions, just under 800K. They always pick up from Gaslight to Ruin Station. You have to be at Gaslight to see these missions. You have to be experienced rank to see these missions. So if you have an Ironclad or a Hull Sea or a Polaris or an Idris that you can pick up all this cargo and deliver it from Gaslight to Ruin Station, and you just want easy peasy money, easy routes, this is easy enough to do. This is about 2,000 SCU of cargo going to Ruin Station. The cool thing about this too is in this particular route, I abandoned those, but this one here actually has me picking up. There are two missions, but it goes from Ruin Station to Gaslight. So you can make about so just from those two missions, from these two here, you're getting 1.6 million. And then if you were to accept these four down here at the very bottom, going from Gaslight to Ruin Station, you're now looking at 3.183 million, and in total, uh, 4.774 million. So you can make 4 million just going back and forth, or 4.7 million going back and forth from Gaslight to Ruin Station. To give you an idea of what I'm doing specifically at senior rank, I have 10 missions here, and one of them is member rank, one of them is experienced. And so I'm just filling the gaps as I need to. I have 8 senior rank missions that are all going to Ruin Station at some point and picking up at one location individually. So, uh, what I'm doing is going through these contracts now, and then I'm going to write them down on a notepad so that way I know which stops to go to. So I'm starting at Gaslight. In total, we're looking at about 13.5 million credits at the end of this run, and all we have to do is just go to each of these locations and pick up the cargo. So that's pretty much the run. And you can see here we completed all 10 missions. The timer's sitting at about, I don't know, 1 hour, 25 minutes, plus the 7 minutes that we had. So we're sitting around an hour and a half, and that was including me having a phone call, going to the bathroom, dealing with the kids, and all that stuff. So about an hour and a half to complete all 10 missions. You're all done? High five. Okay, can you get that trash off the floor and throw it away, please? Mm-hmm. That being said, we made 11.167 million. I am now over the 100 million mark with these 7 missions, or with these 10 missions completed. And my Red Wind Linehaul went up from about here to here, which is fantastic. So, a couple more of these runs, and hopefully we'll be at master rank, and I can give you a rundown of how it works. So that's going to be it for this video, and I hope this information was useful to you and helps you in your aUEC journey if you prefer cargo hauling over refueling, for instance. And hopefully it gets you guys into pyro more. There's still not a lot of people that go into pyro, and I don't know why, but whatever. I enjoy my pyro runs, and I hope you do too. That all aside, if you want to see another cargo hauling video in pyro, let me know. Next one's probably going to be when I hit master rank with Red Wind Linehaul. That said, we also need to do. I have been getting harassed about a parallax crafting video, so I might actually get that one up and running here in the next couple of days as well. So, without further ado, my friends, I bid you adieu. I'm Saxawine with SC Haulers, and we'll see you at the next haul. Love you. Bye.